Today we're talking about operations with polynomials, section 2 of chapter 6. So this is essentially we're breaking it down into adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials, all of which we've done before, where it just comes down to combining like terms. We're going to kind of talk about that and review some of those things, as well as add a few new things to that. So first, we're going to talk about what is the degree of a polynomial. If you recall, the degree of a polynomial is just the degree of the monomial, which is a single term, with the greatest degree. And the degree that we're talking about is the combination of those exponents. So if you take all of the exponents in a particular term and add them up, that's the degree. And we look at all of the degrees of all of the terms, and we take the one that has the largest degree. To add or subtract the polynomials, we just add like terms. And to multiply polynomials, we're going to use the distributive property. So we're going to re-talk about the distributive property today. So let's take a look at this first example. All they want us to do is first to determine, is it a polynomial? And second, if it is, state the degree of the polynomial. So for the first one, we're looking at, we want to make sure that we have only addition and subtraction between our terms. We want no square roots, we want no negative exponents. Some of those things can't happen. So since we have none of that, it's a polynomial. And then the degree here, we take the 3 plus the 5, and we get this degree is 8. And this one, there's only 1, so it's 4. So the degree of the entire polynomial is 8. Over here, this is not a polynomial because we have the square root. So because of the square root, this is not a polynomial. And similarly down here, because we have the negative exponents, this one is not a polynomial either because of the negative exponents. So this one is not a polynomial. So if it is, we're looking for the one with the highest degree within the polynomial. If it isn't, then there's nothing else to do. So taking a look at this one, now they're asking us to add or subtract these. So if we look at adding or subtracting, all we want to do is combine like terms. With subtracting, I'm going to distribute the negative to everything. So I'm going to rewrite all of this. We're going to have 3x squared minus 2x plus 3 minus x squared minus 4x plus 2. I changed the sign of all those signs in the middle. And now I combine like terms. 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. Negative 2x minus 4x is minus 6x. And 3 plus 2 is 5. And that's it. We just subtracted those two polynomials. Similarly with adding, the only difference is we don't have to change anything. We can really just get rid of the parentheses and add like terms. So we have 5x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus a negative 3x squared, or just minus 3x squared, plus x minus 3. Combine like terms. 5x squared minus 3x squared is 2x squared. Negative 4x plus x is minus 3x. 1 minus 3 is a negative 2. And that's your final answer. Now we're going to start looking at some multiplication. When we multiply, we're using the distributive property. So we've done FOILing before, which again is just kind of an elongated distributive property. Now we're strictly using the distributive property. I'm going to multiply every term by 2x. So it's going to multiply throughout. So 2x times 7x squared is 14x cubed. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. And 2x times 5 is a positive 10x. Now you don't want to factor, you don't want to divide, you don't want to do anything else, you just want to leave it like this. If by chance you had any like terms, you do want to combine those, but we can't factor anything out because that's what we just did. We just unfactored, we multiplied it out. So don't factor, don't divide, don't set it equal to 0 unless it's already set equal to something. This is it. And for the next one, we have a negative here, so make sure you carry that through as well. So negative 2a times negative 3a squared is 6a to the third. Negative 2a times negative 11a is a positive 22a squared. And negative 2a times 20 is minus 40a. Again, no simplifying, no factoring, no dividing, just leave it as is. One last example we need to go through here is what happens if I have a binomial by a trinomial or more. It is the distributive property again. However, this time we're distributing two things. I'm going to distribute the n to everything. Then I'm going to go through and distribute the 4 to everything. So we're doing the distributive property, we're doing it twice. Once with each of these numbers. So n times n squared is n cubed. N times 6n is 6n squared. N times negative 2 is negative 2n. Now do it with the 4. 4 times n squared is 4n squared. 4 times 6n is 24n. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Combine like terms now. There are no other cubes, so we have n cubed. 6n squared and 4n squared are 10n squared. Negative 2n and 24n is a positive 22n minus 8. So this should be your final answer. You do want to combine like terms, but you don't want to divide, you don't want to simplify in any way like that. So let's go and do one more of those just to get the hang of it. So again, x times x squared is x cubed. X times 4x is 4x squared. X times 16 is 16x. Now again, make sure that negative goes with the 4. So negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times 4x is negative 16x. And negative 4 times 16 is minus 64. Combine like terms. We have x cubed, 4x squared minus 4x squared, those cancel. 16x minus 16x, those will also cancel. And we're going to be left with a negative 64. So again, just remembering that you are distributing the one with two terms, you're distributing both of those terms to each one. You could do it with the 3 the other way around. It doesn't matter, both ways should work the same. In your homework tonight is page 322, numbers 15 through 35 odds. So make sure to have that for class tomorrow.